We then cut to Mr. Mack approaching Feeney at a very inappropriate time, I might add, and says, I just want you to know that I forgive you for trying to shut us down. And then he kind of steps off to the side, and Mr. Feeney immediately stands up like he's going to attack him. And Alan jumps up so quick, like, whoa, whoa. And Feeney's like, you forgive me. And Alan immediately steps in front of Feeney and gently pulls him back. And Amy is right there to back them up. And Alan says, come on, he's just trying to get a rise out of you. And at this point, Mr. Mack is standing against a wall. And Alan says, look, you're not dealing with gullible little kids here now, buddy. Now you brought Shawn down. Thanks. Why don't you just take a hike back to Conland? And Mr. Mack says, now, do you see how judgmental these, and then Alan grabs him and shoves him against the wall and says, no, you see. The judgment I made a long time ago is that Shawn Hunter is the best friend that my kid ever had. And I will kill to protect Shawn Hunter from people like you. Whew. I just want to say, again, full body chills. I love Alan Matthews so much. So much. As a kid and an adult, every time I watch Boy Meets World, I gain more and more appreciation for Mr. and Mrs. Matthews, together and apart. What we're looking at from a camera angle right here is completely fantastic. We can see on our left side of our screen that Mr. Mack is completely backed against the wall. He's leaning into that wall, kind of arcing away from Mr. Matthews. Alan is standing in front of him, one finger pressing into Mr. Mack's chest. And behind that, we have Mr. Feeney watching on, completely supporting what Alan is doing. And Amy is standing protectively right behind Alan, her hands reaching out for him. And then Amy gently takes hold of Alan's arm, leans forward and said, Alan, he would love a lawsuit. I bet he would. Mr. Mack adjusts his jacket and kind of shakes his shoulders. And he says, I think there's a lot of anger here. And I don't feel that this is a healthy environment for Shawn. Mr. Mack moves around them and turns toward the center of the room to then have Amy, Feeney, and Alan now with the wall behind them. It's a very interesting way of a dance of who is in charge here, who is on top of the situation. And Mr. Mack, unfortunately, kind of believes that he is on top no matter what. And Mr. Mack says, I know you don't respect my philosophy, but for kids who feel like they have an emptiness in their lives, I'm here to give them a sense of belonging. And Mr. Feeney says, you can't have Shawn. And Mr. Mack says, that's up to Shawn. And in any event, there are many more just like him. So Mr. Mack claims that any child who calls for him, he will come and help. He will be there for that child. However, he's also saying that all of these kids are the same. None of them are unique. None of them are special to him individually. All of them as a group are what he wants. He doesn't care who he gets as long as he gets someone. And that to me is the sickest part of this entire situation. He doesn't care about Shawn. He cares about the number that Shawn creates for his whole center, the validity that Shawn's belief gives him. He doesn't care about Shawn or what Shawn believes as long as Shawn is doing what he's told and reporting back to him at every second.